Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm gonna share with you another one of my goals for this year is to get healthy. Not just work on my physical health, but my mental health. In this video, I am gonna talk about my struggles with depression and anxiety. And I hope this video is able to help somebody. So let's just jump right into this. Let's talk about anxiety first. I think I have suffered with anxiety since my early 20s. Didn't know how serious it was because you're talking about anxiety. Oh, that ain't nothing serious, but it can be something serious. It can be very serious. And my anxiety take me to a dark place when stuff do not go my way. It has caused problems in my marriage, problems with me and my kids. I have lost good friends behind it. I have walked off some good jobs because of anxiety. And when I say my anxiety take me to a dark place, is if something don't happen the way I feel it's supposed to go, my mind will pick out everything negative in that situation. For example, with my husband, say for instance, he's at work and we usually talk every day at 12 o'clock. And today he could not call me at 12 o'clock. I know he at work and things come up with the type of job he has. But my mind would take me to every dark place that it could go. From who is he talking to? What is he doing? Why didn't he call me? He talking to somebody else. Knowing that he's at work and what he do at work. But that's how my anxiety do me. Like with my kids. They're adults now. And my girls have kids of their own. And I'm a mom, so I know how stuff go with your kids. But I am that mom, and my son, he lives out of town. He worked 2 jobs, and he's in school. I am that mom. I want to hear from my kids every day. Point blank, period. But they have taught me. And I know they got kids. I know they have a life. But if they do not call me, my mind take me, why ain't they calling me? All I did for them, I'm their mama. They don't love me to just call to see how I'm doing. They got little kids. But see, that's how my anxiety do me. It takes me to a dark place quick. Like in my house, you could open my refrigerator, take a water bottle, and don't put it back where it's supposed to go. And I open that refrigerator and I nuts up. You don't appreciate me cleaning this house. All I do, you could at least put it back in there. Why do it could have just been, oh, I put the water bottle because I had to go do something. Something as simple as moving a water bottle in the refrigerator. It didn't waste, it didn't do nothing. You could have just pulled it out and thought, oh, let me put it back in there. Let me go do something. I'm gonna come back and get it. I don't hear that. My anxiety will not let me hear that. That you're not doing stuff intentionally to me. But my anxiety make me think, when you don't do stuff the way I feel that it needs to be done, you doing this on purpose. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is this making sense? Like jobs, like I told you before, I used to work in childcare. And if you work in childcare, point blank, any job, stuff happen. You have those days where stuff do not go right. So, and it could be just something as simple as a parent complaining about something. Or I was talking to a teacher, you still doing it that way. Not considering what you may be going through, or maybe you need a little bit more training. I'm like, oh, I'm done. I quit. I quit this job. Everything I do, don't nobody appreciate what I do. That's how my anxiety do me. It takes me to a dark place. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all, because my husband would tell me, babe, do you ever think about what you do in the situation to play parts in the problem? Because like I said, you could do something. It is not intentionally, but my anxiety make me think you're doing this. And that little mistake will blow up into a whole bomb. Let me put it like that. I would catch a whole attitude with you. And I had one good friend who said this to me before. Do you ever think about your part in the situation? Because I didn't do nothing. You did. So, when you hear that more than one time from people that you know that care about you, you got to start looking at yourself. And it took me a long time. Like I said, I started struggling with anxiety in my 20s. I'm 45 now. I just started realizing that I had a serious problem with this probably a year ago. Seriously. So, like I said, it has took me down dark roads a lot of time, anxiety, for real. Because like I say, simple stuff, my mind will just blow it up into something that it was never supposed to be or gonna be. It was just a simple mistake. Just a simple mistake. So now let's talk about depression. I really knew I was depressed after I lost my grandma, because with anxiety and depression, they work together for me. That's how I feel, they work together. And because I couldn't control the situation when she passed, I just checked out. I checked out for almost a good year. I could physically do everything I need to do, but mentally, I was broken. I couldn't grasp a lot of stuff. I would just cry and don't know what I'm crying for. And about a year and a half ago, I really knew it had got bad, because I did not want, I would go to work, come home, and I would just cry. I would just cry nonstop. That's one reason why I tell a lot of people who has lost somebody to please go talk to somebody, because I lost both of my parents too. And then losing my grandma, and about 2 years later, my husband lost his granddaddy. Now, I can be there for everybody. I could function and make you think everything is okay. But on the inside, mentally, I didn't know if I was coming or if I was going. My kids would come home. Well, my son was still home. And I could tell it affected him too, because he told me, Mom, I'm scared to leave you, because I don't think you could take that. And to hear my baby say, I'm not doing what I want to do in life because I'm scared my sister's gone. They living their life, and I gotta stay here to make sure you okay, because you can't take another hit. And my husband would try to talk to me. I could hear him, but I felt he didn't care about me either. I didn't feel nobody cared about me. I was just here. And I used to have thoughts like, if I die, would they even care? So depression is serious. And I told one person, they was like, oh, you ain't depressed. Why? Because it's not written on my face that I'm depressed. I knew I was depressed. I knew that I needed help. And if it was somebody else, I would get them help, but I wasn't getting myself help at all. I knew I was broken. I didn't want to kill myself or do anybody harm, but I didn't want to go nowhere. I went to work. I could be at work just the happiest person you think. I could talk to you about your problems and everything and help everybody else. And on the inside, I'm screaming out, I need help. I need help because, not saying I want to kill myself, but I could have cared less if I was here or not, to be honest. And when I decided to get help, I believe if I wouldn't have got help then, it I wouldn't be where I'm at today, honestly, because I was just, put it like this, I was a shell with nothing on the inside of me. Everything was just broken. Everything was just done. I could, like I said, my thing was, if I left here, do anybody care? And in my depression, I was mad with God because I'm like, why is everybody living this life and I'm just here? Do that make sense? I did a lot of questioning of God, and I thought it was wrong to question him. But like they say, he already know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. I would get in my closet, in the back of my closet, and just cry. Just literally cry till I had no more strength. I would come home, and I always been, well, I used to be a tomboy when I was a child, but when I got to be girly, I'm the one who want the hair looking good. All that, I could care less. I would bathe. I would put on deodorant. I would not put lotion on. I didn't care how I looked when I went out in public. My girl, especially my youngest daughter, my quietest daughter, she became my strength. She would come over here and she would sit and talk and say, Mom, what is going on? And I would sit there and be like, I'm okay. She was like, no, you're not. And for my baby to say that, my baby boy, my only son, to be like, Mom, I can't leave you because I don't know what it would do to you. That's when I knew it was time for me to get help. Because I never want my kids to feel that they can't live their life because they got to make sure I'm okay. Because I don't care how old they are, they're my babies. And my husband was like, I don't even know who you are. Oh, y'all, I didn't mean to cry. He was like, I didn't know who you are. You get mad about the littlest thing. He would buy me, do stuff for me, and I'm just like, and I had no physical connect. Like, he would hug me, and he was like, "Man, you won't even hug me back," because honestly, with the depression, I couldn't. It was like I knew what I needed to do, but I just couldn't. I could not do it. Now, outside the house, I could do it. I know for about a month, only place I went was to work and to the grocery store. And I would come home and I would want to do stuff. I would get dressed and walk to my window and just look out my window and see life just passing me by. People were like, let's go do this. I would come up with so many, well, I got to do this. I got to do that. One of my good friends, she was like, let's go to lunch, my treat. I would make excuses just to sit in my depression. And that was not helping at all. So I did tell my son, I was like, you got to live your life. I know I'm not finna do this to you. And my husband really pushed him. to do what he needed to do. And I had a doctor's appointment, and my doctor has been in my life for years, since my kids was little. And she always asks me about all my kids. And when she asked me about my baby boy, I just broke down and just cried. I say, he's leaving me too. He don't care about me. He's leaving me too. And she would ask about my husband, like, oh, he there. He ain't worried about me either, because depression would take you there. And she grabbed me by my hand and she pulled me and she hugged me. She said, baby girl, you are depressed. And it was like somebody finally heard me. She heard me. She heard me. I didn't have to say a word, but she heard me. But how could I expect for somebody to hear me if I never told them what I was feeling on the inside? So she was like, you depressed. You are depressed. She was like, look how you dress. You don't even look like your bubbly self. And I'm like, I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she started me on medication. I took the medication to all the time. When my doctor put me on the medication, I always take it on the weekend because I don't know how I'm going to react to it. So I took it that Saturday. And when I tell you, I was like a zombie. Mentally, I knew what to do, but physically, I could not move. I just slept. My grandson was over here. Usually when he here, he keeping me going. I was just sleeping. And I was like, this ain't for me. I tried the next day. I told my husband, I said, I can't take this. So that's when it clicked in my head. You need to talk to somebody. You got to find you somebody to talk to. So I started calling around to different therapists. And none of them I really got a vibe with. I think I called like 5 or 6 places. And on my last call, I called this church. And one of the co-pastors called me back. And I was at work that day. And I told my supervisor, oh, this is my doctor. I got a doctor. I didn't really want to let nobody know what was going on. So I went to my car. And soon as I don't even remember what he said, but I broke like a little child. Like, I know God sent him to me, Pastor Green. I know because I have been in church for years. I didn't want to call my church because they know me since I was a little girl. So I knew I wanted someone who did not know me, who can truly just hear what I'm saying, not judge me in that way. And I just think he said, hey, I'm Pastor So, and I broke like a baby. It was so easy to talk to him. So I think I stayed on the phone with him for like 30 minutes. And he was like, we need to set up a time so that we can have a face-to-face session. And when I met with him, and we didn't get into everything right then, but just the basics of what I was feeling. It was so easy to talk to him. And it was like the questions he asked, how he helped me to understand what was going on. One minute I said, well, goodness, why couldn't I do this? Because I ain't trained for that. I can help other people, but if you're a person like me who struggle with anxiety and control freak, you feel that you can control everything, your mental and everything. You can fix it out. No, that is not it. If you struggling with depression, mental health, any of those issues, please find someone to talk to. You may have to call 150 places until you feel that you're talking to the right person. But let's get back to this. When I got through talking to him, it's supposed to be, I think, like a 40-minute session, because I was like, oh, I got to go to work. I was there, it was almost 2 hours. Because it was just that easy to talk to him. And when we finished, when I tell you it felt like an elephant had got off my chest, I was like, girl, you was really messed up, you know? And he was like, we got to talk to your husband because he's the closest person to you. Now, my husband is that dude. He didn't believe in it or anything like that. And he was like, whatever I got to do to help you, I'm going to help you. Because I need you to get back to my bubbly wife, the one my kids love. Because one time my daughter told me, I mean, it had got real. She said, Mom, I really talked to Daddy than you. Because I don't never know what your reaction or how you going to be. Seriously. My baby girl don't play radio with me. I love her to death. Oh my gosh. She thinks she my mama. But my husband called him. And he was like, man, he even got me. Like, he's like, he had me thinking about stuff that I didn't even realize bothered me. And as I talked to him, I realized a lot of my issues that I were having, it wasn't something that I just developed. It was stuff that I brought from my childhood. Stuff that happened to me as a child that I never dealt with, that manifest in relationships. My kids went there when I was a kid. My husband, I didn't even know my husband, but they got the backlash of whatever I went through as a child. But how I would have known that if I didn't go get help. Like certain issues, like, you know why that is, you know. And especially like with situations with my husband, my kids, I suffer from neglect because my dad was never in my life. Yes, I had the best stepdad in the world, but my biological dad wasn't there. So he helped me to understand that I dealt with abandonment. So abandonment to me was just like I said, if you told me you were going to do something, you did not do it, you were abandoning me. That's how my anxiety took it, as, oh, let me protect you because I don't want you to feel how you felt when everybody had their dads and your dad wasn't there. Who would have thought? That's why I dealt with that, with my kids, with my husband, with my friends. But that came from all the way as a child, me suffering from abandonment. So now I know how to deal with it than to go into that negative place. And therapy has really helped with that. I don't feel now like my kids don't call me. I call them, what, the girl so and so doing this to you. You know, it's no negativity with it. Now sometimes it do kick up a little bit, but I know that I have to really just tell myself, you need to take a minute, breathe, look at the situation before you go into your mind start getting you into protection mode. And that's what I was doing. Like when stuff wasn't going right on my jobs and I would walk off, I was doing what my dad did to me. I'm abandoning you because you ain't doing what I wanted you to do, or you weren't good enough for me to stick around, you know. And you don't look at it in that way because My issues with my dad, which I have met him and tried to have a relationship with him, it didn't go good. And he was like, he asked me, what is your issue with you? I say, was I not good enough for him? And that's how, when stuff didn't go my way, I'm not good enough for you. You didn't think enough of me to at least do this or that. So the anxiety kick in, and my mental is really protecting me, trying to protect me, but it was harming me in relationships. Do that make sense? So then that kick up depression, because I got in my head that I'm not good enough. I never be good enough. I get close to people, because I know one time I told um, my husband wound up being on dialysis for 17 years. And one time I told him, it may be best that you divorce me because everybody around me die and leave. And he looked at me like, what the hell? I was like, yeah, maybe you need to leave me, because you stick with me, you're gonna die. Because my mom died, my stepdad died, my grandma had died, his granddaddy passed. It was like I had so many hits in 1 year. My niece passed, my god brother passed. I was like, you need to get away from me. And the look in his face was like, but that's how I was feeling. That's how that depression had me. And my anxiety had me. I think I'm protecting you, but I'm not. That's why I made this video, because working on yourself is not just physical, it's mental too. You got to work on all of you. And that is my goal this year. Now, I've been going to therapy, and no, I did not take the medication, because I take enough medication as it is. And the way that medicine made me feel, I knew that wasn't for me. That's why I was like, okay, I got to talk to somebody. And I'm telling you, when you find the right person that you feel comfortable with, you may have to go to different ones till you find that right one. And you may find that right person at the first try. Like I told you, I think Pastor Green was number 6 I had called. And when I first talked to him on that phone, I just broke down. He could have just said, hey, my name is Pastor Green, and I lost everything. I mean, I had snot nose cry, that ugly cry. But please reach out to someone. Talk to someone. I know you may want to talk to, you may have a close friend. I have a close friend that I can tell everything to. But honestly, I think that I needed someone who was trained in mental health. I really feel that's what helped me, is to get someone who knew what they what they were getting into. No, I'm just saying, being funny. I'm trying to make it light because I don't want to cry no more. And then my daughter went and got therapy with certain issues she had. Because like I knew, I was like, Mama can't help you. You got to talk to somebody. And I saw her going down where I was, the way I was going. And I just had to tell her, you got to find somebody to talk to. Mama and Dad gonna be here with you, ride or die. But you need to get somebody to talk to seriously. And it helped her so much. Now she's in nursing school, because she went through something a couple years ago that I know it broke me as her mom, that I couldn't protect my child and my grandchild for what they went through. It was no physical harm to them, but to someone they care about. And I could, as a mom, and see, that's where that anxiety and that control came in. My thing was, how did I let this happen? But that was beyond my control. And see, that's the thing that you have to know with mental health, because you could struggle with different stuff. Like I have a control, like I told you, I had a control issue. And when that issue happened with my child, I'm like, I supposed to be there to protect her. I'm supposed to be there to protect my grandson. Where did I go wrong? And that was something that I couldn't control. I am not God. I I had nothing to do with that situation. And talking to someone that helps me now, yeah, I still have issues with control, certain stuff that I know that I can control. But other stuff like protecting everybody who I love, I know they got to go on their own journey. I can be here for them, but I can't let it take me to that negative place, if that makes sense. Some things are just out of our control, and I had to learn that through what I went through. And I'm not saying that I still have moments where I catch myself, but I know what I need to do now. I have to back away from the situation and honestly just give it to God, and it's gonna do what it gonna do. Point blank, period. So that's one of my goals this year, is to get completely healthy. And I hope this video can help someone. Just like I'm saying, just because a person look like they put together and everything is good, sometimes you just have to ask somebody, how are you truly doing? And you may have to be that person to suggest, please just you may need to talk to someone. And it's okay to ask for help. Don't be like me, acting out, basically wondering why people not hearing me saying that I think I'm depressed, because I'm saying it in my head, but I wasn't saying it out loud. And honestly, I believe why I wasn't saying it out loud to anybody is because I didn't want them to think something was wrong with me. But it got to a point where it was too much. And when my doctor said it, it was like, thank you. Somebody heard me. Somebody, you know, somebody, it's like you in a box and you screaming for help and nobody can hear you. But you screaming it in your head. You're not saying it. I never told my husband I felt I was depressed. I never told my kids. I never told my best friend, my aunties, nobody, my sister, nobody. Because I didn't want them to think anything less of me. But I'm letting you know now, it is okay to get the help that you need, because every day is going to be a different day. And if you struggle with anxiety or depression, you need a support system for your good days, your bad days, and the days you don't know if you're coming or going. So I'm a big person who believes in therapy now. A couple years ago, no. Because reality hadn't sunk in. But now, when I know it's an A, that's where we look. We got to get together. A little spans going on. But also with me getting help, my relationship with my husband is so good now. Because I'm telling you, what I was going through, me and my husband was at the door of divorce. I mean, seriously. It was just like, and it was some things he was going through that nobody would understand. Well, some people may understand who has ever been on a donor's list or physically where they came, just a lot. I'm gonna let him tell his story. But he wanted to be the husband, the protector, but he also had to take care of himself too. And once I started getting help, he started getting help. You get what I'm saying? And now we talk about everything. I mean, some of the conversations we have after we look at each other. Did we just really talk about that? But it has made our relationship so much better. Now, I still got to work on my anxiety with my kids and my control with my kids. They're my kids. I don't know. I still think of them as the little kids running through the house, tearing up everything. I tell them every day, I'm grateful because now I have grandbabies and I love my grandbabies. But sometimes I wish my kids were still 6, 7, and 8. And my son was 4, I think. I don't know. Sometimes I wish they could just, but I'm working on it with them. I'm working on knowing that they are adults. I still call and threaten them. But they know now it's a difference. And when I call and tell them, oh, you didn't call me? Or what you did, what your problem is. It's a difference now. So, but getting therapy and working on my depression and anxiety has really helped me in a lot of situations. I mean, it helps me at work. It helps me just with everything. And like I said, me and my husband's relationship is so good now. But we still have our days where we don't like each other or the moments, but we know how now. Maybe we can't talk about it right then. Maybe I need to give this person, maybe I need to give him a moment. He need to give me a moment. And then we can sit down and talk about it. And we both are passionate people when we talk about something that means something to us. And that's what was driving us apart. He could say something and I would just think he is being the nastiest man in the world. He talking to me any kind of way. He don't care about how I feel or nothing. Now I know when the tone goes up a little bit, oh, he just really love me. Now he just want me to feel what he feeling. I don't take it to that negative place no more. It's just, oh, he passionate about this. Let me hear what he's saying, and I'm going to address it the best of my ability. But sometimes I don't need to say nothing at that moment. I just need to listen to him. And in the beginning, I could not do that because soon as his tone changed or he's not acting the way I think he need to act, my anxiety took me to a negative place. So I hope this video helps somebody. And if you know somebody who it can help, please share it. Oh, this is a long video, y'all. So I'm finna get off here because it is 2:05 in the morning. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Oh, please like, comment, and subscribe and share. Okay?